I worked as a mafakech for Mawot Chayarot and the mafakech of Tabut Tornit for what's called B'choz Yushalayim, that was till I retired. And one of the things I really liked.
On Mamila, before it was Mamila.
Oh yes, that was on Mamila Street.
Stop it after 2
Which is
minutes.
not what Mamila is now.
It's still a street.
Yeah, it's still there, but it wasn't. It was an old building.
It wasn't a fancy
It was not fancy at all. Okay, now to finish it up, because you have been patient all these. How long is it, Sharon?
1 hour and
No,
It can't be an hour.
we're
No,
going.
much
This is my third. I'm using my third phone recording
25
you.
minutes.
So
1 hour and 25
Keep
minutes.
going, keep going. Yeah.
All right, okay, let's finish it up.
No, I'm not joking.
I believe you.
Two
Now, I
hours.
want to tell you, the family to me, of all the things, is most cherished. And even though there's stiffs back and forth, I love everyone here. And I really feel privileged how your lives have turned out and what you've done. And each of you is somebody worthy of respect and love. And I think that Kodesh Baruch Hu has given me, first of all, I didn't commit any serious sins, because according to the Gemara, if you live to the age of 60, that means that you haven't done anything that deserves chorus. So that's one thing. To reach the age of 76, when I was young, 76 was an ancient. I don't really feel ancient. Sharon has been a big support to me, and she gave me the 2 years ago. And Joshua also. Joshua says to me, he's never met any overweight people age 80 or 90. I don't remember what it was. But meaning I should lose weight. Well, I didn't do so well in that area. But his idea and Sharon's idea. Sorry.
Try not to die on tape, please.
Going to the Matnas and Gilo. So the Matnas and Gilo is part of my life now, almost 3 years. Every Sunday morning and every Thursday morning. I really should go an extra day too. But I spend an hour.
Take a breath.
I spend an hour and a quarter on different machines, and I think that has helped me a lot. So that was Sharon and Yoel as now. I would just mention, friendship is a very dear thing, and I really am grateful that you guys, not only my grandchildren, but many of you are friends. And I tell you, Bazi, I hope you have joined a nice family. I mean, you're a nice person yourself, but it's really something nice that I think with God's help, Kodesh Baruch Hu should keep you well, so that the baby is healthy. You should make me and Sharon great grandparents. I've never been a great grandfather before.
But you've been pretty great so far.
So now, so to sum it all up,
Wait, tell him about Haga.
36
And the
years.
chair.
Okay, I'll share with this. This will be the final thing.
This is a good story.
I did Miloim. What was that mean? It means that about 20 years ago, for 6 weeks, I was at Bad Sheshesway in Sweetfield, sleeping in a tent, learning how to climb up ladders, bring people down, how to get people out of, God forbid, buildings that have fallen apart, and you have no idea the sophisticated material that they had. This was 20 years ago, so you can imagine what they have today. They could get a person, they have a kind of thin thing, I mean literally, it's almost a little more than an envelope that you put underneath gigantic, 2-3 tons of concrete, and you could blow that up and pick up the hawasot, the concrete, and get a body out, or a person who's caught underneath. And I saw that being used in National Geographic to get trucks out in Alaska. They use the same as an Israeli invention. So, but I finished this thing, and they called me in and want to sign me for doing, I figure, get a gun, walk around the Tachana Merkazit for 5-6 hours every week for 2 or 3 days a night. And that was what they wanted me to do. They said, we want you to give lectures. I says, I'm not doing Hebrew. We want you to give lectures on crowd control. on disaster victim identification, on human relations on the job. I says, wait a minute, well, why are you asking me to do this? Well, because you have a master's in psychology. I says, yes, but I never dealt with these topics. Well, do you know the topics? I said, yes, but I don't know how to do it. I said, I'll tell you, I'll make a deal. You give me 3 weeks on your cheshbon. I get out of work, and this is my assignment. So I went to Sheikh Jarrah, which is the army, the police headquarters for the country near the Har HaTzofim. And there they have a professional library. And I'll study the material and see what I can do. So I went to the Sheikh Jarrah police to get a letter authorizing me to sit in the library. And there they had Coast Guard, Rescue Service, Japanese, Swiss, Canadian, United States, Scotland Yard, all kinds of material on how to do with crowd control. And then I went to see the head psychologist of Tzahal and the head of Haga, and I created a series of lectures. I want you to know that for 10 years, 26 times a year, 3 hours each, I gave lectures in Ivrit, and part of the lecture was to get them to understand how people are at the time of a pigua, like a Machar or a bus goes off. How do you deal with people? How do you deal with it yourself and your own emotions? So to make it real to them, I would pick up a chair and throw it at the group. Now these are people all in the OM, and I want you to know they're no fooling around guys. So one guy said to me, "V'nei shezorakta tekisei chashavnu ata martzeh min university, avo achar shezorakta tekisei yadanu she'ata achad mishemanu." And that did it. So I said, "This is a good idea." So I did this.
I should vote you more often.
In 10 years, I broke 8 chairs. I did. I broke 8 chairs. But they were popular lectures. And this was all in English.
Did you do it at the crowd? Or
I threw it at them. Yeah, one guy picked it up, we'll throw it back. And then I did role model, Mishak Tafki did. This was real serious with slides and the whole business. So it was really a good set of lectures. And then when I got to be 50 years old, they said, the computer has sent you out. Oh, I bought the rank. They wanted to give me a rank. So according to the Israeli law, because of the fact that I had been an officer in the American Army and a captain, I should get the rank that I had. Well, they sent me to see the chief chaplain, Rabbi Gad Navo. And Gad Navo decided I was a Reform rabbi. Because he started a conversation with me about Peter and Paul and Mary, and a discussion about
Singing group?
yeah, so I said, why are you criticizing me for knowing this stuff? You know it too. I said, how can you not know it? In Chutz La'aretz, you have to know this. Well, rabbis in Israel don't have to know this. I said, what should I do? Erase my knowledge? So anyway, so they felt bad about that. So they felt they set me up for a fall. So the head of who was a full colonel, so he decided, he said, we'll give you a rank. So I became a second lieutenant. So I thought that was a joke to be a second mishneh after being a sergeant. But I said, okay, so I decided I'm not coming in uniform. I'm not wearing the second lieutenant's rank. I don't like that. So I used to come to Tzrifin, and someone picked me up in a car, and I'd have to walk half hour, and I would give the lecture. Now, I'll tell you the final thing. I have in my tick a train pass from Tzrifin to Yerushalayim. Now, what's wrong with that? Anything? Remember?
There's no railroad from Spain.
There's no railroad between. The Pkidah didn't know, and I said, this could be used if I had a time machine. She didn't know what I'm talking about, time machine. If there was a time machine, because there was once upon a time a train from the British Army camp at Tzrifin to Yerushalayim, but there's
Classic army, classic.
I need a bus ticket. So she called and gave me a bus ticket. Okay, so that's my thing. I want you to know, I thank you very much.